Good morning, cadets. Today I'll be taking up the chapter My Childhood. We have already started the chapter, came to know that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is a multifaceted personality, and we should always remember his humble beginning from Rameshwaram to the highest post, that is, he became the President of India. Today we have a presentation on Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The presentation is courtesy Cadet Ved of class 9th B. He has made a beautiful presentation which includes introduction, birth, early life, education, work, his struggles, his presidency, awards, death, and his message. Awul Pakir Jalaluddin APJ Abdul Kalam was scientist and engineer who served as the President of India from 2002 to 2007. He is a man of vision. He can look into the future. Before only he has given us ideas with India 2020. So he is a man of vision. He is always full of ideas and which are development focus of the country. It is often also referred as Missile Man of India. People loved and respected him so much during his tenure as a president. The presidential post did not bring any change in Dr. Kalam. So he is known as people's president. People usually, when they rise to higher position, they change. But Dr. Kalam never changed. He also received the largest civilian award, that is Bharat Ratna, in 1997. So this is the multifaceted man, scientist, engineer, professor, author, president, above all, a very good human being. So you can see Rameshwaram and his house, his humble beginning. Dr. Kalam, his parents. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's father, he was just a boat owner and imam of local mosque. And his mother, Ashiamma, she was a homemaker or a housewife. Kalam was the youngest of four brothers and one sister in his family. He completed his education at Swartz Higher Secondary School, Ramanathapuram. He graduated in physics in 1954 from St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli. In 1955, to study aerospace engineering in MIT, that is Madras Institute of Technology. So his hairstyle, if you have noted from childhood onwards, is the same. Those two locks of hair. Could you just show the previous slide once again? Yeah, the locks of hair on his forehead. It was his style from the childhood itself. Then he worked at Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO. Then ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Up here, I would like to say one thing. So it just came to my mind. ISRO and DRDO both are abbreviation. But if we can pronounce a word in English when it is an abbreviation, that is called acronym. So we will say ISRO, then the word, what we call AIDS, we don't say AIDS, we say AIDS. But the word DRDO, we are saying DRDO. So that is abbreviation. But when you can pronounce a word, that is called acronym. And ISRO is an acronym. Certain things run into your mind suddenly. So nothing wrong in explaining. Struggling time. So he struggled. It was not a overnight success. A lot of hard work. Failed in launching SLV-3 for the first time. He owned the responsibility. So that was the beauty of the man. He did not play any blame game. This happened, that happened, he did, she did, nothing. He owned it up that if the project has failed, it is my responsibility. But finally, he achieved success in the next time. He became the 11th President of India on 20th July 2002. So, sawing in ceremony, the swearing in ceremony is being shown. Presidency. So, Kalam is along with the Russian Vladimir Putin and Manmohan Singh during his presidency. 25th July 2002 to 25th July 2007, Kalam served as president. He is known as People's President. He is the first scientist and the first bachelor to occupy Rashtrapati Bhavan. His scientific research and achievements include SLV-3, Project Devil, Project Valiant, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, that is PSLV, and SLV-3 projects, Agni and Prithvi. So his vision for young youth. These are his books, Turning Points. It's a very good book. You should read a lot. He's a good author. Very simple language he uses. Anybody can read. The greatness of that man is such that he has received so many awards. The important are Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, Bharat Ratna. He has received honorary doctorates. His death is also memorable because while delivering a lecture, he collapsed. On 27th July 2015, Kalam traveled to Shillong to deliver a lecture on creating a livable planet Earth at the Indian Institute Management Shillong. At around 6:35 p.m., only 5 minutes into his lecture, he collapsed. He was rushed to nearby hospital in a very critical condition. He lacked pulse and any signs of life. Despite being placed in the ICU or intensive care unit, Kalam was confirmed death of sudden cardiac arrest. His last word to his aide, Srijan Pal Singh, were, "Funny guy, are you doing well?" So when he died, also, he was about to deliver a lecture. His famous quote, this everybody should remember, that merely having dreams will not do. Dreams should make you sleepless and make you pursue, and you should ensure that what you have dreamt has become a reality. Dream is not what you see in sleep. It is the thing which doesn't let you sleep. Then it is real thing. If it doesn't let you sleep 24 into 7, you are passionate about it, then you will pursue it and it will become successful. To succeed in your mission, you must have single minded devotion to your goal. Thank you, Ved. Next, we have an incident from Dr. Kalam's life.
A lesson for my teacher. I lived on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram, a city famous for its Shiva temple. Every evening, on my way home from the mosque, I would linger near the temple. I always felt like a stranger here as the temple girls stared suspiciously at me. They probably wondered what a Muslim boy was doing in front of a temple. The truth was that I loved to listen to the rhythmic chanting of the mantras, though I never understood a word. There was a strange magic in them. Of course, something else led me there. My best friend, Ramanath Shastri, was the son of the head priest. He sat beside his father at this hour, reciting hymns. Ram would steal a smiling glance at me from time to time. At school, Ram and I always sat together on the first bench of our classroom. We were like brothers. However, being a Hindu priest's son, he wore a sacred thread, while my white cap marked me as a Muslim. One day, when we were in the fifth standard, a new teacher came to our class. He looked strict. He went around the class, tapping his cane on his palm, and stopped before us. You, the one in the white cap, how dare you sit beside the temple priest's son? He shouted. Go, sit on the last bench. I felt hurt. With tears in my eyes, I picked up my books and shifted to the last row. Ram and I wept together silently after school. We thought we would not be allowed to be friends anymore. When I reached home that day, my father looked at me and asked, Were you crying? What's wrong, son? I recounted the whole incident to my father, while Ram also told his family the same story. Early the next morning, Ram came running to our house and said, Father has asked you to come to our house immediately. I was terrified. I thought I was in for some more trouble. We hurried back to Ram's house. My heart skipped a beat when I saw our new teacher standing there. In the light of our discussion, apologize to Kalab here, said Ram's father with a stern face. I could not believe what I had just heard. The head priest was asking the teacher to apologize to me. No child is less than another in God's eyes. It is your duty as a teacher to help students live in harmony in spite of the differences in their background. You can teach in the school, he said. Our teacher immediately asked me to forgive him. He hugged me and said, I am sorry, Kala. I have learned an important lesson in life today. Ram's father saw that the teacher sincerely regretted his behavior and permitted him to continue teaching.
On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of the segregation of different social groups. However, my science teacher, Shiva Subramanya Iyer, though an Orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative wife, was something of a rebel. He did his best to break social barriers so that people from varying backgrounds could mingle easily. He used to spend hours with me and would say, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with highly educated people of the big cities. Now, there was another teacher of Dr. Kalam, Shiva Subramanya Iyer. He belonged to a very old fashioned Brahmin family. He had a very orthodox wife. But the thing about Shiva Subramanyam's Iyer was he did not believe in caste. He was from the Brahmin community, but he believed that social barriers should be broken so that all the caste people they mingle easily. And he used to spend hours with Kalam, and he saw that Kalam was different. So he told Kalam that he wants him to develop at par with the highly educated people of the big cities. So he motivated Dr. Kalam highly. One incident where Kalam once again understands the society is caste and religion based. One more incident. One day, Shiva Subramanya Iyer invited me to his home for a meal. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. See the beauty of words. They are saying it is a ritually pure Brahmin kitchen, and a Muslim boy has been invited. So we forget that we are human beings. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. Shiv, Shiva Subramanya Iyer was not perturbed, nor did he get angry with his wife. So, Shiva Subramanya Iyer was a very calm, composed, and peaceful man. When his wife behaved strangely, he did not get disturbed or he did not start having a fight or shouting at her. But what did he do? Instead, he served Dr. Kalam. He told, "Okay, you don't enter the kitchen, dear wife. I will do it." And he served Kalam with his own hands and sat down beside Kalam to eat his meal. So he wanted to show his wife that if we sit with a Muslim, nothing will happen. That person is also having food, and I am also having food. Both are hungry. That is the need, nothing else. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, and cleaned the floor after the meal. So Dr. Kalam also could not understand that every person is a human being. Why there is so much caste and religion difference? Everybody feels hungry, they have food, drink water, all the rituals. When I was leaving his house, Shiva Subramanya Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. So he was a very matured man. He wanted to make his wife, who was very orthodox and conservative, to realize that a man is known by his good work, deeds, and not by his caste or religion. So he once again invited Dr. Kalam for dinner next weekend. Observing my hesitation, he told me not to get upset. So Kalam was not interested after this bitter episode to once again come to his house. So he said, "Sir, okay, I had dinner once. It's enough, sir." And he tried to avoid the situation. But the teacher was matured. The teacher told him, "Once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted." So he answered, "When you want to change the basic system of a society, the initial problems will be there. If you remember, you are well read history people, Raja Ram Mohan Roy and others, they had a lot of problem in abolishing sati system, child marriage. It has not happened in overnight. It has taken a lot of efforts, lot of opposition. So this Brahmin also told Dr. Kalam, nothing to worry. Such conservative people are there in the society, but we have to keep reminding that all are human beings. When I visited his house the next week, Shiva Subramanya Iyer's wife took me inside her kitchen, served me food with her own hands. So this time, the lady understood that her husband wants her to learn a lesson that all human beings are created equal by God. In his eyes, all are his children, not that somebody is Muslim or somebody is Hindu, nothing. All are the children of God. She understood the strong message which her husband wanted to teach her. So when Dr. Kalam came to her house, she served food and she could see that Kalam was also eating food with hands and she also did the same. So there is no difference. So basically, this chapter we have to see that we remember that he has occupied the Rashtrapati Bhavan, but we have not seen his struggles. As a small child, he has faced a lot of struggles. So, struggles and difficulties they help you in becoming a good personality. So don't run away from any struggle or difficulties.